Hey guys, Jason here. We're up here, Franklin Toyota, the amazing Franklin Toyota. And what we're gonna talk about today is this guy right here. What do we got? We got a TRD Pro. No, I do not have the keys. It is Sunday. I cannot open it up for you. I know I was gonna come back up here last week and do it, but again, I've been very, very busy and I did not get around to it. Came up here making other videos and saw it was still here. And today what we're gonna talk about though is what you could do that is way better than this and still have a Toyota. Okay, yes, you can do some better stuff. Let's take a look at that, for example. So the Toyota, this TRD Pro basically has no option other than a $700 spray and bed liner. We know that all Southeast Toyota distributors pay this stupid $700 Toyota guard. This has got a $700 bed scene lighting, which you would think on a $70,000 truck, this stuff would come standard. Okay, but no, they're charging you $700 for it. You're paying $529 for that big, bulky, pain in the butt, nobody wants dash cam. It's on the driver's side. It should be mounted on the passenger side instead because it is such a big, bulky obstacle right there in your way. You got to pay for that to be on there. Plus, you're paying $129 for the screen protector on this thing. So they got a lot of stupid stuff that you're seeing in here. And the tailgate black lettering's $250, but you're $68,000 TRD Pro, which also means you're getting the hybrid. Okay, this has got the iForce Max in it, so you get the hybrid. So great truck, don't get me wrong, great truck. The back seat's worthless in this because inside there you have these isodynamic seats that you can see in there. Hang on, I'm trying. You see if I can get that better for you. Look at those isodynamic. Look how little room you have. Look out. Look how tight that is. It's leaning right on the back seat. Let's go around on the other side. Peek in from there. But it's horrible. Okay, it's absolutely horrible. There is no backseat space usability in this thing at all under any circumstances. Look at how bad that backseat space is in this thing because of all that blocky. You can see it on the passenger side. Okay, horrible back seats, but they do give you some really cool front seats. Look at those with that cool bolstering and a TRD logo in there and all that fancy stuff. And they're really cool seats, don't get me wrong. But still, this truck, so you're gonna pay $70,000 for this truck. And what does it really get you over a TRD off-road like we see sticking out there? We're gonna dive in and take a look at that. We're gonna see what it would take, okay? So we have this truck at $68,000. Let's walk over there and check that real fast. Now this is a TRD off-road, okay? TRD off-road model. And this is non-hybrid. Now, you can add a hybrid. I think they even have one here if you wanted to. The TRD off-road, probably a TRD off-road hybrid somewhere on here. Here's a white one, but there's a TRD off-road. And we'll take a look at this first. So we're comparing. But you can take a look at this. This is basically, we can take this and turn this into what that is. This is $53,000. So you're saving 15 grand to go with this truck over that one. I will cover the differences for you in a minute and show you how simple it is to make this better than that. We'll cover that in just a second. Let's go take a look at this white one right over here, this TRD off-road hybrid, so we can compare that for you as well too. This one also does have the bumpers. This has a Nitto Trail Grappler tire update, which is even better than you get on the TRD off-road. This has got the iForce Max in it. This is, like I said, we got the rear ARB recovery points on it. And this kind of stuff on here already. So what are we coming in here? 57. So we're still $11,000 less. And you're paying $1,600 for these Nitto tires that are on here. Okay, which is crazy because you're not getting your original tires back that you could have sold, but it is an iForce Max version. So when we look at the front of these things, we notice here that we have the Toyota logo, the circle grille, where when we get into that one, I'll show you, we have the actual, the Heritage grille where it says Toyota on it. Okay, you can change that out for about $400 if you don't like that. You can get rid of it. The spoiler on the front that's there, you can get rid of that for next to nothing. It takes you a couple minutes with a couple bolts to get that out of there. You already have great tires on here. Now you can also, this platform will accommodate a 35-inch tire pretty easily. Whether it's the TRD Pro that we saw down there, or it is this one, they will accommodate that tire very easily on both of them. So the tire issue is non-event. You can get a sway bar disconnect in a TRD off-road just like you can in the TRD Pro. That issue is non-event, okay? You can get these recovery points, as you see right here on the TRD off-road, just like you have on a TRD Pro. That makes that non-event. Okay, you have the same setup on the front, makes the front end non-event. Basically, for all practical purposes, the only real difference between this, now these are Bilsteins, but they are a Bilstein remote reservoir shock. Both ends, front, back, everything, they are remote reservoir shocks on these, on the TRD Off-Road. Okay, this has got remote resis on it already from Bilstein, and it's got a very rock solid suspension. So, and this comes with the Nittos, great tire on here. Let's take a walk over there and take a look at what we got on there. Okay, now as far as the interior goodies, the hidden stuff, the mechanicals, the TRD Off-Road, like the TRD Pro, will have a electronic rear locking differential. They will both have the MTS, which is multi-terrain select. They will both have the crawl control. They will both have identical off-road capabilities as far as through the electronics and the mechanicals. Nothing different between the two of them, okay? So we go back over to that TRD Pro. All right, we are over back at the TRD Pro. Now, you do get a more offset wheel with this, okay? You get a little bit, it's not that the control arms are longer or anything like that. You get a little more offset in the tire. It's all wheel. That's basically what it is. These are basically sunk in more. They push this out more. But look at how cheap of a tire you're getting on here compared to what we just saw, those Nittos on that one. Okay, so the tires are not that impressive. We do get an upgraded suspension on the TRD Pro, which is this one, and we always get the color match, fancy, sexy aluminum control arms, okay, and all the red springs and all that fanciness there in the suspension that looks really, really good. Now here's the Heritage grille that we get on the front that we were talking about, where it says legit Toyota, and you get a light bar built right into there as well too, and you get rigid fog lights, couple fancy little upgrades, but things that aren't gonna really make much difference. You get them, and then you do get the red tow hooks that do stick out a little farther. See how those recovery points stick out a little bit farther? Then if we look at over here, like on this TRD Sport, which would be the same as the TRD Off-Road, see how the recovery points are kind of tucked in there more? Actually this way like that, see how they're tucked in there further in? Right in there? Well, we can also mount these. These can be put on also onto your TRD Off-Road directly from ARB or from Toyota, but you can have them put on. Okay, so that's not the end of the world. That's an easy fix there too, not much money. Hood, not much, or grill, not much money to fix on there. So those things are not too bad. You do see that you get a little bigger fender flare. That is because they push the tires out further. Okay, tires stick out a little further on it, so it has a little more chiseled cut to it, a little more tough appearance and look package to this style than what you're seeing on a TRD Off-Road. Little more punch to it is that kind of thing. But in all practical purposes, when you put it all together, the reality is that this truck here isn't offering anywhere near the $10,000 to $15,000 more in the fact that this only comes with the iForce Max and you can't get a TRD Pro any other way. This one, and you have to have those isometric seats that take up all that back seat space. This truck to me is going nowhere. It's a non-starter. No interest in it whatsoever. Now you do also get the ARB rear bumper. Steel bumper, that's a beautiful thing. It's a great bumper. However, this bumper is contributing nothing to anything for you. Okay, it's not towing anything because your recovery points are not on the bumper. They're connected to the frame. These points, so they're worthless. You can get these on any other one of the trucks. We'll show you that. I did show you that. But this bumper is good, but the bumper is non-event. Look at the shape of that bumper versus the shape of this bumper. There's no difference. Yes, this one is plastic. Okay, that one is steel. Yes, you get this twin exhaust on here, which is just going to get beat up anyway. It's kind of disappointing they put that on a TRD Off-Road as far as, or a TRD Pro in my opinion. But there's that bumper doesn't serve any purpose, just like this bumper doesn't serve any purpose. Your recovery points are these ARB recovery points here, or the winch or the hitch, and those ARB recovery points mount right on here on any one of these trucks. So there's not anything that you're gaining on a TRD Pro. Now the Trail Hunter is a different truck, and we reviewed that, and I love the Trail Hunter. The Trail Hunter has Old Man Emu springs. It's set up to do the right things. It's set up for overlanding, set up for things. This is set up for desert running. There's not much that this truck offers for that massive price that you couldn't do yourself on a TRD Off-Road and save a tremendous amount of money and more room. So now forgetting that other hybrid down there, because if you have your choice, you don't want the hybrid. If we look at that one, it was $68,000. This one also has the bed lights, the camp bed lights here. Okay, woohoo, we got those already. But this one is coming in, what do we say it was, 50 what? $53,000, 53 grand for this. And you could put 35-inch tires on it, which will cost you, let's just say it costs you $1,500 to do that. And that's gonna be bigger than what are on those already. But you put 35s on this for $1,500. And you put our ARB recovery points on the back for a couple of $100s on there. You put the Toyota Heritage grill on the front of this for a couple $100. So now you're at $3,000 total. And even if you don't like the suspension and you want your own custom, you want a Kings or something like that, or a great quality custom Old Man Emu or something like that suspension with all new control arm springs, everything like that, you're looking at $5 grand. So for $7,000, this truck absolutely destroys that truck on every possible way. Plus, you gain the use of your back seat by not having the isometric seats, and you gain all the storage under the seat because you don't have that stupid battery in there. So this becomes the ultimate truck, and it's still, even when you deck it out and make it, it saves you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And not only does it perform better and do better, it's going to last longer, give you less headaches, less BS to mess with. We know that the transmission in a Toyota Hybrid Max, or iForce Max Hybrid, we know that when that transmission control module for the hybrid control module goes out, it is, to replace the transmission with that module, it is $30,000, where replacing the transmission in this one without it is $7,000. Let that math sink in. So, in my opinion, the TRD Pro, nah. The last gen, okay, in the last gen version, fantastic. Third gen, loved it. In the 2023s and older, it was the TRD Pro. It came with the lift, it came with the stuff, it mattered, it had the things that were there, it was value, and it had the name, and it had the cool features, and it was something. This new generation Tacoma, the TRD Pro is kind of dead in the water as far as I'm concerned. You may feel differently. I like that the Trail Hunter is, and I like what they did with that. But as far as the TRD Pro, it can sit on a lot. I'd take a TRD off-road all day long and put a couple grand into it to make it exactly like I want and be just happier than, happier than whatever's happy. There you go. Questions, comments, put them down below. Thanks for watching.